All right, we're going to wrap up the lecture from class today. Ran out of time, so we're looking at section 1-4. Remember, the idea that we did not finish up is an idea called decomposing a function. Basically, what that is I'm going to give you the composite function and ask you to try to figure out what f of x and g of x you could use to get that final function. Alright, so a couple things to remember. There's more than one right answer. Lots of different ways you can do it. Biggest thing is just check your work and see if you do get that composite function. Okay, so our example here is 1 over x minus 2 quantity squared. So the idea I want you to think about is, what is the big idea? Like when you look at this function, what's the main thing going on? I hope that when you do it, you see the thing that jumps out at you is that you have a big fraction. You have 1 over something. And so that big idea is what's going to be your f of x. And then once you have that f of x, then just figure out, hey, what could I plug in for x on the bottom to get this composite function? Okay, so again, we're looking for two functions that you could put together to get this final composite function. So again, what is the big idea in h of x? To me, I see a fraction. That's what the big idea is. So if I write 1 over x as my f of x, I think the next part's easy now. Think about what could you plug in for g of x, what could you plug in for x right now that would give you 1 over x minus 2 quantity squared. Hopefully you realize that if I just plugged in x minus 2, I would get that answer. So, give you a chance to practice this a little. First example. Your composed function is the square root of 1 minus x squared. So again, what is the big idea that you see? Hopefully the big idea is, I see the square root of something. So what could I plug in for that? 1 minus x squared. This one's a little bit tougher. Pause for a second. See if you can figure this out without me helping you out. If not, here's how you do it. Try using the idea of completing the square with that quadratic. Remember, completing the square would be if I took half of my b, half of the value in front of the x, and square that, I would get a binomial squared. So half of 10 is 5. 5 squared would give me 25. So I could write x squared plus 10x plus 25. I could write that as x plus 5 quantity squared. But if I have x squared plus 10x plus 25, how do I get from that to x squared plus 10x plus 22. I have to subtract 3. So if my f of x is the main idea, what's the main idea? X plus 5 times x plus 5. If that's x minus 3, I should be able to plug in x plus 5 into that, and I get my answer. If you need more practice, try it on these pages as well. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. Hope it makes sense. See you then.